Hello, Knockouts. Tonya TKO here. And this post came across my timeline and I shared it on Facebook, and it was getting a lot of mixed responses on Facebook. And I wanted to present it to you all over here in video form, but I'm just going to be giving my commentary. There's not going to be any video in this. So just think of this like a podcast and put it on while you go clean up the house or do your dishes or fold your clothes or drive home or whatever it is that you need to do, because we're going to be talking about this young man who wants to know why he was ghosted. He's thinking about becoming an asshole and all of this other stuff. And I want us to jump into some of the arbitals. And even though the program that I usually use to do my videos is malfunctioning right now, I wanted to come out and do this video anyway. So bear with me. As you know, I am Tonya TKO. I'm a self-love specialist from TonyaTKO.com. I help you learn how to love yourself and one another. So make sure that you're subscribed to me on both YouTube and Facebook, because I upload videos to both platforms and not always the same videos on every platform. All right, so let's jump into it. So he says, I met a woman at Walmart and got her number. We talked for a few days and decided to meet up for breakfast. When I saw her again, I think I had forgotten what she looked like because she was extremely gorgeous. I told her this too. She was all smiles during the date. There weren't really any awkward silences. Things just flowed. I was really impressed by her. She is one of the few women that I have been out with that not only had her own, she might even have more than me. That's never happened before. She appeared to have a lot of qualities that I wanted in a woman that I would be serious with. She offered to pay. Not sure if that was just a move or not, but I paid with no problem. She has some things to take care of after the date, so we hugged and went our separate ways. We texted a little bit later and I got ghosted. I gave it a couple of days and texted her again. She said she was just very busy. I said, okay, and I tried not to overwhelm her, but when I did text her, no response until the same I'm so busy BS. It's been a few weeks with no response. Why do people with vaginas do this? Why lie if you're not interested? Just tell the truth so you're not stringing people along for no reason. This is how assholes are created. I'm about done. No reason to try because this keeps happening. All right. So listen, let's jump into this. Did you all pick up on the arbitals? And for those of you who know my channel, you know the arbitals are RBTL, reading between the lines. There's a lot of juicy information in here, and this is why I thought that this was a good video to make, because there are a lot of women who are like, oh, she just wanted a free meal, and there are other men who are like, oh, she had somebody else, and there are a lot of people who are giving a lot of different answers, and I want to hear your answer below. Like, what advice would you give to this guy? Because from what it is that I'm hearing, he's posting this thing all over the internet in many different groups, trying to get I don't know, different responses to it. I don't know, but there's a lot of privilege that exists inside here. Stringing people along, why don't you tell people the truth? This is how assholes are made. Number one, if you want to be an asshole, go ahead and be an asshole. Don't try to blame it on a person that you went out on a date with for the reason that you chose or decided to be an asshole. That sounds like something that was creeping up on him from a long time ago, if you want to be honest. It sounds like something that's been reverberating in the back of his mind, and he's just looking for a reason to let his asshole flag fly. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, don't blame it on her. You went on one date, she offered to pay. And let me tell you, if you take a woman out on a date and by the time the check comes, if she's like, oh, let me pay, bruh, man, that is not a good sign. If she's like, listen, because look, I've done that before. And when I offered to dig down in my purse and pay your way, listen, I'm doing that because I want there to be a clean break. I want you to feel like, because I know it's not going to work. I want you to feel like you owe me nothing. I owe you nothing. And then we go from there. Homeboy says one of the things that he liked about her so much is that, the conversation was flowing good. And during this conversation, it is revealed that he makes less money than she does, right? And he's like, she had so many of the qualities that he would like in a woman that he would be serious with. So one of the things that I'm picking up on reading between the lines is that there are other women who have been really great women that he's just hasn't wanted to be serious with because they didn't possess some of the qualities that this woman has. And one of the qualities is that she makes more money. And then other qualities are things that he is probably looking for within himself. So he met this woman. He had a really great time with her, and that's wonderful. The conversation was flowing good. Some people are just great conversationalists. Some people just really flow well with a lot of different people. They know how to talk. They got the gift of gab, and somebody who's made it very far in her career is probably one of those people. And then also, men, according to scientists, really don't possess the same quality that women do of being able to gauge social situations. So, this is a lot of the things that make men go and chase people who are not interested because they're not really able to navigate through social cues that would indicate to you that things are really not going as well as you think they are. This is why the majority of divorces are initiated by women, because men just really kind of just going along with the flow, go with the flow. And, you hear the complaints and the this and the that, and you don't really pick up on the cues that, listen, bro, this is serious. So in his point of view, the conversation was going well and this, that, and the other, but we don't know what things were like from her point of view. There could be a lot of things going on. First of all, women are naturally hypergamous. So women are naturally going to gravitate towards men that have more than she does. It's just a natural part of being a woman. Here he is being really drawn to a woman who has more than he does, which means he's hypergamous himself. Okay, maybe he's not. Maybe. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. So, who knows? Maybe that was one of the characteristics he really liked about her, that she was the type of woman that he would want to be with, because she's obviously a high caliber quality woman. And so a woman like that wants a high caliber quality man. And this person doesn't really seem like he has a lot going on in his life. He's measuring the amount of time and distance and space between the phone calls, etc. And then he's talking about the same BS, I'm busy. Well, if she makes that much more money than you, maybe homegirl is busy. She didn't get to the top of the rung by just sitting around. You know what I'm saying? And who knows? There could have been a lot of different things that went on during that interaction that were red flags, warning signs for her. He didn't really speak much about himself in this letter. But one key thing that he did say, did you peep the last sentence? Because this keeps happening. How many times does this need to happen to you, bruh, before you start turning your eyes inward and start looking at what's happening with you and in your life? Typically people gravitate towards people that have stuff that they don't have. We like compliments. So a person who is really shy, we like the outgoing person, and vice versa, because people look to fill in those nooks and crannies through their partners, their quote unquote better halves. And so with this guy, he's going out looking for a high caliber, high quality woman, and he may not have the things necessary to be able to attract and or keep a high quality, high caliber woman. We talk a lot to women about, how you can't keep a man, or what you can do to keep a man, how to do this and that, and contort yourself into being able to be malleable, pliable, and attractive to men. But we don't really talk with men about some of the things that they can do to be attractive to women besides, the physical stuff. We don't really talk with men about taking care of the mental health stuff inside, taking care of your emotional intelligence. We don't really talk to men about how to prepare themselves for a wife. All we do is we tell them, oh, get a fresh shape up, do some push-ups, get a nice car, make some money. But there's a lot more to it than that. People try to post a lot of these articles about, oh, how all of these high educated women are single. I saw one article that was like, there's over 70 million black women, something like that. 7 million, 70, I don't know what it said. But it was like, there's a large number of black women that can't find a man, right? And maybe it's not that she can't find a quote unquote man. Maybe it's that she's not finding the right man for her. Being single for a woman who has options, being single for a woman who enjoys her own time, enjoys her own space, enjoys her life, is doing her thing, is traveling, making money, and doing all of this, it's a lot different than a person who feels like they need a person to fill up the quiet spots, like how Wendy Williams spent a lot of time talking about how she didn't want to turn her door, her key, and then there'd be nobody there. For people who have full lives, they're not going around counting how much time has gone between XYZ. And then let's jump into this. Why do people with vaginas do this? He's already dehumanized her. He could have called her a woman. Why do women do this? And the thing is that this is what I'm saying. He's not looking at himself. If this keeps happening to him over and over and over again with many different types of women, I mean, how many more dates is he going to go on without him looking inside and seeing what's happening? Why is it that I'm chasing these women away? Why can't I keep a woman? Am I husband material? Why is nobody trying to husband me up? You know what I'm saying? He's out here posting this in a bunch of different groups. So I think he's really wallowing in a lot of victim energy as if he's owed something. And then he feels like she should have, quote unquote, told him the truth. And one thing that I found with men, women, platonic and romantic, closure is for you. Sometimes we want people to tell us what it is that they didn't like, what is it that didn't resonate with them. And I personally have never had a good experience explaining that to a person, male or female. And when you start talking about, explaining these things to men, sometimes there was one person that answered and said, no response is a response. Sometimes some things are better left unsaid because you don't get on the bad side of a person who is bigger and stronger than you. Maybe they live in the same area. She may see him out and she may not want a confrontation, which for many black women becomes violent, leads to violence, or just a very uncomfortable situation. I once had a female friend who asked me, or a female associate who I no longer associated with, who spent a lot of time coming at me trying to figure out why we're no longer associated with one another. And when I told her why, she used that as her ammunition to be like, oh, well, I didn't want to be friends with you anyway, and started detailing all of these things. It's like the type of person that you ghost in the first place is the type of person that you probably didn't feel comfortable having that conversation with. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some people out there who lack the interpersonal skills to be able to really speak up and let other people know, what's going on. But in many situations, some people are so toxic and so concerning that you really don't even want to get mixed up in that. You know what I mean? And so he's like, why do people with vaginas do this? Why do you string people along? He didn't want to overwhelm her and all this stuff. Where are the other women that he's dating? Where are the other people that's occupying his time? Is he seriously looking for a partner, or does he have this list, this criteria of all of these things that he wants to check off on, and so he is keeping himself, I don't know, secluded, celibate, and starving for attention and interaction, so much so that he is vying and volleying for this woman to reach back out to him. And if you really look at the tone of this letter, right? He has asshole-ish tendencies and qualities already. And he's just on the verge and the cusp, just looking for an excuse, looking for a reason to just brook out. People like him think that they're quote unquote nice guys, but then they're referring to women as people with vaginas. They're acting as if a person who went out with you on a first date offered to pay and then went their separate ways as if they owe you anything. And then with that thing that we were talking about with the explanation, look, if you need closure, come up with any reason that you need to in your mind to get whatever type of closure it is that you need to get. Because for a lot of us, what we really want is we want a confrontation. We want to confront a person who doesn't want us so that we can make sense of why they don't want us, and then come up with the reasons for either why they should or why we didn't really want them anyway. You know what I mean? Because like I said, I had that conversation with a female ex-associate, and then she went off on her tirade. And then the other people, I've tried, like I've had almost every different type of situation that you can imagine come up, where you tell a man, listen, I'm not interested. Oh, why aren't you interested? And then you try to explain to them, and then they try to figure out what's wrong with you, why you have that particular need, want, desire, value, goal, or deal breaker. Oh, well, you don't just, I'm a good catch. Yes, because your mama said so. Okay, I'm sorry. Maybe you're a good catch for somebody else, but just not for that woman. It's like, we talked about this with the Home Depot reference. It's like if you go into Home Depot for a particular type of hardware, piece of hardware, whether you need a joining piece or a hinge with springs, or maybe you need a hinge that doesn't go back all the way but springs forward, or an assisting hinge, whatever it is that you may need, right? You know what it is that you're looking for. And when you go into Home Depot, you're not going to take something that is not what you want. It could be the best other piece in the world. It could be made of wonderful material. It could be made of shiny brass and all this other stuff. But if you need stainless steel, or if you need something that does a particular thing, if you need a particular look, if you need whatever it is that you need, you know what it is that you're looking for. And what I find is that a lot of men think, this is what I'm saying, we're not equipping our men to go out there into the field to really have something to offer, because most of the relationship advice that men get is how to F 3 or 4 women a night, gorgeous women, how to run through them. We don't really talk with men about how to be a good catch for a woman, the type of man that a woman would want to hold on to, the type of man that a woman would respect. I got a lot of crybaby dusties on my pages who are crying about the criticism that they're getting, instead of sitting down and really taking a self-assessment. And they're so busy being like, Tonya, you hate men, instead of really taking a look and seeing, you know what? Which one of those characteristics fits me? And it gets a lot deeper. It gets a lot deeper. Like, you know what? I would go into another topic, but I want to keep this video short, and I'm going to let you all go. I want to hear your thoughts and your comments below. Leave your feedback and let me know what you think about this letter. Let me know what you think about the stuff that I've said. What are the arbitals that you have? And come over to my website, TonyaTKO.com. I have hypnotherapeutic MP3s. My self-love affirmations book is over there. When you buy it from my website, you get it autographed. When you buy it from Amazon, it's shipped out Prime. So take a look at those things and let me know what it is that you think in the comments below. Tonya TKO, and I'm out. Peace. Oh, remember, go out there and love one another, but most importantly, love yourself. And part of loving yourself is really assessing yourself. Look, none of us are perfect. And if the type of person that you want is constantly rejecting you or turning you down, then that means that you are probably shifting over into the compliment area. COMPLEMNET, not compliment like telling somebody some good words, but being a compliment to a person, like 70-30, 60-40, 55-45, then you're probably overcompensating with wanting to get a compliment to fill in the gaps for things that you don't have. So if you are constantly finding yourself attracted to people who have more education or more fitness or whatever, and those people are rejecting you, then that means that you need to take a look at yourself and go get those things for yourself. Instead of trying to get them in another person, go get them for yourself so that you can have that within yourself, so that you can be that type of compliment for the type of person that you want to compliment you. And on that note, I'm out. Peace.